So Song Dripwoo cannot be stopped in more ways than one. The amount of riz this guy has is absolutely crazy. It's not possible for him just to breathe and attract women the way that he does. But regardless, this was a great episode. Beautiful fighting. The choreography done in it was mighty nice. They made sure with the assassin style that Jinwoo has that the fight was actually quick and fast paced, and it just went from one thing to another, and it was just so good as he defeats Baran, the demon monarch. And although like most of the fights he's had, he wins by a squeak, just a hair's breadth away from death. I'm thinking back when he was learning his actual abilities and he had to fight the big serpent. In order to defeat the big serpent, he used his strength. He did kind of the same thing here. If you look real closely in the animation, the Dominator's touch, it goes into like a swirl pattern around Baran's arms and he just pulled him right on off. But thanks to Essel for her distraction, because it probably would have went another way if that didn't happen. But there were some changes and some things that were left on the cutting room floor on this episode. So we're going to go over some things and admire what in the world Jinwoo is achieving here. So let's first go over the quick stuff. Quick stuff is the ant. Now this one ant has come from Jeju Island, attacked the Japanese area, killed over 402 people. Over 100 of them were hunters, and the rest were civilians. Absolutely crazy. Now, one thing they did leave out in the actual manhwa, in one of the fights where they were fighting the ant, they were realizing how intelligent the ant was, because the ant went after all the low-ranked people in the party first, so like all the E ranks, and then the healers. And once the healers were dead, all the actual attacking people were like, oh man, I can't believe this one ant has this much intelligence and is clearing through everyone. The fact that it killed that many people, just one, is the ramification of that. There's a whole island full of these ants, and they've tried to kill/attack these ants 3 other times, and now they're starting the 4th raid. So all of that will be very important in the future, but just realize that these ants are actual ants and no joke. So let's move into some of the changes, some small, some big. We'll go over the biggest things because small things, of course, are always someone said this instead of that. But one thing we definitely need to go over is the ranking system. So for those that don't know, we already know that, of course, you got E rank all the way up to S rank. Now, there's even a level above S rank, and that is called nation level. A nation level are hunters that are so strong that essentially would be as if you would have to, they equate over to a nation, like a whole nation of people who have to take out this one person. And while Sung Jinwoo was in the Demon Castle dungeon, they cut out the fact that there were some hunters that were nation level looking for him. And, whether or not they wanted to talk or do something other than that, it's not really stated. But for now, the biggest thing to know is that there were some exchanges that were happening while Sung Jinwoo was missing. The episode didn't go over the fact that Jinwoo was missing, and they were like, oh, they're trying to talk these negotiations. They have no clue where Jinwoo's at, which, of course, we know that he's in the dungeon and can't be traced. Another thing that was different, Jinwoo going to Essel's father. When he was speaking with him, the whole exchange, where he's like, oh, I want her as well. That was hilarious. But one thing about the father, if you didn't notice, the thing that they cut out was right afterwards, they had a dinner. And they essentially sat down, ate dinner, and that's when he got the little entry permit. But one thing I did want to talk in more detail about the father is notice how even in the episode, you could kind of see this. In the beginning, he was more protective of his clan. He was like, what in the world did you bring in here? It's like, you didn't just bring one guy, you brought a whole army literally into my throne room to where he could just attack all of us and we're just all dead. And he was all very protective, trying to make sure of what is going on, Jinwoo's intentions and such. But then after Jinwoo did his, oh, I want her, then it was like the father side of him came out and was like, excuse me? I just thought that that juxtaposition was pretty funny, how you could be a father and yet also be the protector of your clan when you have a threat like Jinwoo. And then not only is he a threat, then you're like, wait, is he making moves on my own daughter? Like the aura that Jinwoo is showcasing here is a threat to all of mankind and even demonkind at this point. So, you know, I thought that was one of the funniest things to actually see there. Another change that they cut out was the whole wyvern, the demon monarch that was on top of his dragon wyvern thing. The way that Jinwoo took it out in the actual anime was throwing Ygritte's sword and just slicing its head straight off. Well, in the manhwa, it was taken out from that blast that came from Tusk, where it was even in the episode where the blast came, hit the lightning. In the manhwa, it actually like arced upwards, hit the wyvern like in the wing or the side, and burned that part of it, and it died from that. While in the anime, it was like that was kind of a diversion, so then Jinwoo can throw the sword. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really matter either way. I guess it shows a little bit more intelligence out of Jinwoo to use that as a distraction, but overall, didn't really bother me any. I do want to discuss, after those differences, talk about it a little bit, but I really want to go into more detail about Essel. Now, the first thing about Essel is she simple-minded or is she a complex character? Now, Jinwoo in the anime was saying how he gets along with simple-minded people as he doesn't even realize he's actually risen these people up. But in the manhwa, it was actually said that he gets along with klutzy people. Of course, saying that she's kind of a klutz of a character. Now, regardless of what you may think, I believe in the beginning, you could probably say she was simple-minded, but by the end, she having to decide to go against her own kind, her own demon kind, or side with Jinwoo, he's the invader. He's essentially the person coming in, invading this castle when they've supposed to be given the command of, hey, your job is to protect this castle, to protect the domain, protect the level. Well, she breaks all of that, breaks the voice in her own head when she helped Jinwoo by throwing her own whole arm weapon at her own monarch king, if you will. So thus allowing Jinwoo to win, because she could have stood back, did nothing, as she was even telling herself who should she go for. She could have stood back and done nothing, and Jinwoo probably would have lost. And, you know, they would have accomplished the voice in their head by protecting the area. But she went against all of that, threw her thing at it. The demon monarch literally looks away from Jinwoo. Like, he's in a fight, a struggle fight, and takes his whole, not only his eyes, but his whole head, turns it to look at her, and is like, what are you doing? You do not realize that you have someone you're fighting with a struggle, a strength battle? And that's why Jinwoo was like, now's my chance. And then he just rips his arms off. It's just a crazy mistake. Now, granted, that was good for Essel to bring attention to her, even though she was not able to do anything other than just throw the dagger, her weapon at him. The key is that Jinwoo wins, saves the day, if you will, and makes the Radiru family the highest. Not the Radis, which is an ongoing joke, but the Radiru family the highest of the demons. But we mustn't forget about when they were meeting, of course, we had another like matrix breaking moment in the beginning of the episode, because of course, Jinwoo, whenever he meets someone with some sort of intelligence, whether they're friend or foe, he's like, hey, I need some information here. Give me some info about what in the world is happening around me. It's like, what's the system? What is this battle that you guys, in this case, he was asking her that they were in the demon realm preparing for war. And he's like, war? Oh, okay. Now, one thing that was different in the actual manhwa, he asked one more question when she was crackling, breaking, before she fainted. he asks like, okay, who are you at war with? What is the name of this person that you guys are battling against? This strong person that you said that you got to bring all the demons together with. Who are they? And then apparently, like, she couldn't even say the name that they're so strong, and it made her pass out along with the whole crackling and stuff. While in the anime, I believe it was just more of a, she just kind of tips over from exhaustion. Overall, great episode, and the fact that I think Essel as a character is actually overlooked. Like, she's, you know, cute, you know, they try to make like, oh, let's make another waifu, in this case, like a demon waifu, and, you know, make her cute and make her like have these little interactions with Jinwoo where he's oblivious, but she's like warming up to him more and more. Like I said, Dripwoo must be stopped. It's too much. His aura is growing way too much. The Riz power is escalating. It's too high. He just breathes and the women just fall over. Anyway, regardless, it's a great episode. One of the best. Great fighting. And definitely, I'm looking forward to next week's episode, because more and more about these ants I think is going to be happening, and more we're going to learn about the world, not just Korea where they're at, but hunters from around the world. Now that Jinwoo has proclaimed himself to be a very strong S rank in Korea, all the other S ranks and people around the world have taken notice, and he will definitely be someone that be interesting to be around, if you will, because now that he's fought against this demon monarch and is defeated him, and of course gets experience, it becomes even stronger. I wonder what everyone else's opinions of him are going to be. What you guys think of the episode? I think it was one of the best. Choreography was pretty nice, and it was great to actually see transpose what happened in the manhwa into the anime. It's just absolutely a killer, amazing event each and every week. Tell me what you guys think, but make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you are new here, I'd love to hear you guys' opinion. And of course, don't forget to hit that bell icon, so then that way you know of more videos that will be coming out. I appreciate everyone that's been here. Thank you for all the subs, as we are close to hitting 300 subs if we haven't already. And of course, the goal gets to that 1,000 benchmark. You guys be safe. You take care. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.